Hey guys, and welcome back to Shadow the Hedgehog. We're pretty much going to be completing the neutral route of the game here, so you will be seeing a quote-unquote final boss and some credits in this particular part.
That we will, but we've got to go to this beautiful looking JPEG backgrounded iron jungle first.
Did they just mash Prison Island with white jungle from SA2? Because that's the kind of feel I'm getting here.
I don't know for certain, but some of those textures seem a little bit familiar to me in the back.
Yeah. Oh my god, look at the low poly shadow clones, that's great.
I know!
Listen up, Shadow Android.
I'm not sure whether they look derpy, adorable, or both.
Adorable. Let's just go with that.
I like that word.
Also, how did Eggman not notice one of the robots moving on their own? Excellent bit of voice acting here, by the way.
Yeah. I think there are a few sort of awkward sounding things. I get the vibe it was more a direction problem rather than explicitly performance problem.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know, it just kind of gives me the vibe that maybe they were given lines out of context and they were just trying to improvise with it. That's just it seems like that's the problem with a lot of delivery that I see in the more awkwardly performed Sonic games.
Yeah, I suppose so. Direction more than outright delivery.
I mean, it's a common issue that I've noticed in quite a few video games in general. Half the time, the actors seem to be doing the best they can, but the direction they're given is just not helpful at all. Even though Final Fantasy 15 hasn't come out yet, I would say that certain elements of that, the problems seem less down to the actors and more down to the direction than anything, in terms of how that sounds as a game. But then also, I could have sworn that this was still the era of gaming, or at least the era of Sonic, where they weren't really lip-syncing to the English, maybe quite so much. They were probably more trying to get the lip flaps to match.
I suppose so, yeah.
So that's probably why that particular line was as slow as it was.
Fair enough. I believe it's the dark route where you have Hero, where you have to shoot down Eggman's blimp?
I think so, yeah. It's kind of weird because Eggman seems to switch around sometimes which side he is. It's like Eggman's in some positions like the lesser of two evils against the aliens.
That's kind of why I got confused for a second there, because, he helped out Sonic and Shadow in both SA2 and Hero, so I was like, is he Hero or is he Dark? Why doesn't Eggman have his own game, really?
I know! I think Eggman would be the much more interesting character.
Oh, well, he's got a backstory. He's got a grandfather and whatnot. What does Shadow have? Ugh.
Well, we're seeing what he's got. He's got these aliens that got a relation to, and that's what the game's explaining, Tom. Come on.
Well, I think you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself there. You could have said Gatling gun. Both answers would have been correct. But back there, you saw Flame do what looked like chaos control, was it?
Yes, that is a thing that when you build up your hero gauge, which you get from shooting the evil characters in a particular thing, which is another thing that sort of switches around sometimes, who's a good character to shoot, who's a bad character to shoot.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, you fill that up, and when you reach the top, you get a period where it's sort of shining, and you can either press Y to use the chaos control, which sort of darts past everything, or you can just sort of loiter around, and that gives you sort of unlimited ammo somehow.
Perfect.
But I find it kind of weird that that's tied to a side for Hero 1, for the Chaos Control, because quite often if you're doing one of the explicit hero missions, using Chaos Control is detrimental because you skip past things that you're meant to be looking out for.
Mm-hmm. And there is a checkpoint system, because some of the levels are really huge, so I guess they just wanted to make it easier on the player to backtrack and whatnot, but it's mostly useful on neutral levels where the explicit goal is just, to get to the goal ring and either get the Chaos Emerald or just end the level.
Look like me. Am I?
Now we're leading to a boss here. The bosses are placed sort of sporadically around the routes, so sometimes you'll go a few levels without a boss, or if you go in certain routes you might have bosses showing up all the time. It's weird. I would have thought they might have tied it to say maybe 2nd, 4th and 6th, but nah, apparently not. But the Egg Breaker, it's not that hard.
Yeah, just get him one of the turrets and blast away, and he'll be dead in no time. He does like to destroy said turrets quite frequently, though, so be on your toes.
And by that, just grab a gun, shoot him. When that gun runs out of ammo, grab another gun, shoot him. That's pretty much the entire boss.
You just described Shadow the Hedgehog as a game in less than 10 seconds. That's quite a fit. Why do we even need a playthrough, really?
It's like one of them animations like sometimes I have, like some Sonic and some shit like Shadow in.
Oh yeah, like what, Sonic Adventure 2 in 5 minutes and so on. I miss those types of cartoons. Has he done any more recently?
I think there was like not one of them formats, but I think the same people had animations at the last one on stream, like just
Nice.
Sonic running around South Island or whatever.
Oh yeah, Chaos Emerald. Why was Eggman keeping it in his possession? Who cares? It's mine now.
I've got to love Omega's little jig in the background as well.
That is the least triumphant victory music I've heard in a long time, I'm going to be honest. It's so grungy. And just while we're on the subject of like music and sound effects, I can't get over the fact that when you like start the game and go through the menus, the like confirmation sound effect is a gunshot.
Yeah, well, it's appropriate.
Ow, the Edgehog.
Yeah.
I'm starting to remember a superior game. Excellent.
It's the Black Hedgehog, and he died.
Really, Shadow? Are you gonna let yourself get played like this? All evidence points to the fact that you're the real deal, bro. In fact, why not just get a knife and cut yourself? And when you see blood, you can confirm that you're the real deal.
I know this game's edgy, but I don't think it's quite that edgy.
Well, I mean, even if you didn't cut yourself, you just have to, squeeze, and he would feel that he's squishy. And, the androids are metal.
Well, to be fair, and this is sort of, giving them a lot of credit here, but if Shadow's, like, in this form of amnesia, he might not necessarily know that much just yet. Like, about robotics, about biology.
Well, that is very true, because you remember when Team Dark fought Team Sonic in Sonic Heroes, he thought, oh, that'll be a date to die for, was an appropriate pun to make. It wasn't. It was, in fact, very, very cringeworthy. Anywho, Lava Shelter. Probably my favourite route ending level, and maybe, like, in my top 3 of Shadow the Hedgehog levels in general. I don't have much bad to say about this one. The music's great, the level design is pretty fun. You've got like instant death lava pits, well they've been a staple of like Sonic since like S3 and K, so I ain't gonna give them shit for that.
Yeah, what I love most about this level is when you're on the grind rail, it's just how much speed you can pick up, because there's no real cap on it. Like how much faster you can make yourself with the sort of X button thing.
Yeah, so I just like how you were lining up a proper jump there and still got twatted by the laser.
Yeah, I am really not good with perspective, if you can't tell.
Oh well,
This level is, like, I'm going to echo what you said, it is one of the best levels in the game. There's just a good solid pace to it, you can just build up speed, like I say, there's not really much to get in your way. This one, because there's no actual pure neutral, this level you do have to pick a side. I'm going the hero one here, because that's most like a neutral mission.
Okay.
So there is a goal in here. The dark version is shooting all these generators, which we're running past, and that actually takes you on like a different route along the level.
Oh.
So like shooting them will lift the lava up, and that means you have to take the higher routes. Which means that all this lower part you see down the bottom there, that's like you can't go there. So you've got that extra level of risk if you're doing the dark mission.
That's one thing I can praise about Shadow, again, the route system. I feel that's the kind of thing heroes should have done, or at the very least, like, give the teams different level orders to play through. Because if you'll notice, Team Sonic starts off in a canyon, and their first level is set on a beach.
Yes.
So, I don't design games, I just talk over other people's intellectual properties.
Yeah, I think that is definitely something that it works in Shadow's favour, is that it at least tried to go with the alternate pathways, and seems to have at least also presented alternate pathways within the alternate pathways, in terms of how you get through levels. So that's quite cool. Obviously, whether it technically all works properly is a different matter altogether, but it's good that they at least tried.
I think that, like, what you're saying about having the alternate routes and shit, that numbs the pain of what we had from Heroes. What I think they really kind of fucked up with a little bit is that if you wanted to now, after playing this, you wanted to say go do the dark route of Lava Shelter, you'd have to play the story mode up to this if you wanted to get that particular ending in the story mode. And I just don't get why, after you've beat this particular mission, why can't you just sort of jump halfway through and play this level again and just carry on from there? It just feels like padding just to make you redo loads of shit you've already done.
Well, yeah, it is literally artificial padding. Well, maybe not literally, but it is artificial padding. It's just trying to extend the length of the game for the sake of it.
You can tell how much Flame has actually played Shadow the Hedgehog by all the A ranks he's getting. It's kind of impressive, really.
Trust me, that's gonna go down the shitter when we go to the actual missions.
Oh lordy.
Yeah, because this game's ranking system, depending on which mission you go after, it takes into account things like how many of the good guys or bad guys you've shot. And this game doesn't lend itself well to actually aiming at the right guys, but we'll probably get more into that when it's more appropriate.
Can we just talk about that line for 1 second? You're going straight to hell. Sonic game!
Yeah. I mean, like, Sonic's finally grown up.
I want to smack you so hard right now.
And that's why I'm glad we're talking over Skype.
Oh yeah, tell us a little bit about the Egg Dealer, mate, because this is one infamous hell of a boss.
It's shit and it's stupid.
Right, the ultimate combo.
Yeah, well, what you got to do, like, knock these 3 things and it triggers one of his different things. All of which, when you're the one who press it, aids Shadow in some way. So this time it's filled up my Chaos Blast gauge. Other ones involve shooting rockets at himself or giving me rings.
He's meant to be a genius. How does that work?
Well, you know, this is the guy who thought he could control a beast of ultimate darkness in Sonic Unleashed and didn't think it would backfire on him at all to try and siphon energy out of it to power his creepy amusement park. So, you know, he may have an IQ of 300 or so, but that doesn't mean he's smart per se. He's more book smart than anything.
I'm starting to think he might have just, like, rigged his Mensa test or some shit.
Probably.
That is a perfectly either way, perfectly reasonable guess of what happened to Eggman, because I honestly do not know how he became a doctor.
Well, I mean, anyone with a printer and a camera can. But one thing I want to bring up is how the homing attack really works against you. This, like, I'm having a fair bit of luck so far, but sometimes you'll shoot one, you'll be lined up to shoot the next one, that'll go, but then you try to get the third one, and even if it looks like you're lined up, it just won't register somehow.
Yeah, I've had that problem quite a bit, actually.
And like, that got excessive in some takes. That's why I ended up having to faff around with this one a lot.
This is a joke of a boss. I mean, he just tripped over and blew himself up.
Yeah. Good going, Eggman. You got this down. You got this done well.
You've got this, Eggman.
Oh god.
Now, I don't know why the Egg Dealer has a Shadow Fever thing on his machine. It's just like, I get the bombs and the missiles, which obviously he cocks up miserably, but why the hell would you have a thing that gives Shadow more power?
I guess he just feels like nostalgic from when Shadow was working with him in SA2.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's all the Chaos Emeralds. Now it's time to turn into Hyper Shadow and kick Eggman in the face.
There's a Hyper Shadow?
Well, if you go by certain magazines, yes.
Good thing I don't. Oh, we're coming up to this moment, aren't we?
Yeah, and you know what? This is amazing. You know, if it weren't for this cutscene and its ilk, I would probably give the game a 1 out of 10, but this elevates it to a 2, you know? it just gives it that certain level of pathos that you don't find in other Sonic games. And of course, this changes slightly depending on what route you're playing through. It gives Shadow a new reason to live. He's Shadow Android in this route, the ultimate battle lifeform created by Eggman. Oh my god.
But I will now lead this empire, and androids will rule.
I can't take this anymore. We'll see you guys next time when we start the true hero route. Goodbye for now.
What? Goodbye, Doctor.
Waking up,